So, Castle just dropped their newest ESC, the Copperhead 10. Let's just get straight into it. I'm pretty excited about this. It's 2 4S capable. It supports both censored, sensorless, and brush motors. Pretty decent BEC, 5.5 volts to 7.5 volts. And again, obviously, you'll need your Castle link to switch that up. Let's get into what I feel about this ESC. So the first question I feel like most people have, including myself, is how does this compare to the Mamba X? This is kind of the direct comparison. Obviously, first of all, the price, it's $30 US dollars behind the Mamba X at $120, which I personally still feel it's a little steep, but otherwise it would essentially cannibalize the sale of the Mamba X. A bit inferior build quality. This is an injection molded case instead of the nice machined aluminium case that you would get with Mamba X. Secondly, you don't get the auxiliary port, which allows you to change parameters on the fly with like a spare channel on your radio. Another minor thing is there's no fan port on the ESC, so you'll need to use a spare JSC plug on if you want to power the fan on the Copperhead. Fourthly, BEC wise, it's 7.5 volts compared to 8 volts. But again, I personally don't think that's too big of a problem. If you're really running high power servos, you're using an external BEC anyways. So personally, I don't find that as that big of a downgrade. And then lastly is obviously the voltage of each ESC. So this is obviously up to 4S only versus the Mamba X, which is 6S. But this ESC, I think, is essentially going to replace most of what the Mamba X does. The Mamba X is in itself a bit of a niche product anyways. It is 6S capable, but most people running 6S are probably running it in e-buggies and truggies, monster truck, the higher powered bashes, and the Mamba X isn't really designed for that. Those guys probably run Mamba Monster X's or high power Hobbywing systems anyways. So the Mamba X really is aimed at the rock racer and rock crawling crowd. And at $150, it's an expensive ESC. And also, I doubt most people who are into crawling and rock racing would actually run 6S. So with this new ESC, this would essentially replace most of the Mamba X sales. Sure, it has cut down features, but I feel for most guys, saving money is sort of their primary objective. So one feature that this ESC is actually superior to the Mamba X is the battery post. These actually have solder posts rather than just the wire soldered straight to the internal PCB like the Mamba X. So this makes swapping battery wires possible, unlike the Mamba X. Because of the slight inferior build quality, this ESC is actually 30 grams lighter than the Mamba X, coming in at only 71 grams, which might not sound like a lot, but when you're getting into, more competitive crawling, those 30 grams actually matter quite a lot. So with the release of this new ESC, there's actually a new combo that's also coming out, but it is limited edition. It comes with a new 1412 3200 kV motor. This is actually a little strange. On the website, it lists the motor as 49.5 millimeters. Don't think that's exactly right, because if you look at the image, it is quite obviously a 550 size can, so around 60 to 65 millimeters in length is what I would get. So essentially a 550 can, which I feel like is sort of the missing motor size in the Castle brushless motor lineup. So the differences between this limited edition versus the standard one is the ESC has a little bit different color on the case, and it has blacked out cooling fins instead of the copper colored ones. The fan shroud is also blacked out instead of the goldish, orangish color on the standard edition. The motor itself is completely black. Personally, I think this looks phenomenal. It's nice and stealthy, and I really wish Castle would actually use this color on more of their standard stuff. Personally, I feel like it lists as SCT, which I understand. Maybe they're aiming for the basher crowd, but this is basically a perfect rock racer or rock bouncer, as it lists here, a axial rift in the image combo. So for all your 2.2 trucks, this would be perfect on 3S and 4S. With that said, that's all I have so far with the Copperhead. Obviously, we won't know more until we actually get the motor and ESC in and have a look. Hopefully, I'm able to get the limited edition. I really think that this is a great pairing. But anyways, that's it for now. Stay tuned for more content. Thank you.